Farewell to Pope Francis, a legacy of compassion. Today, the world mourns the passing of a spiritual giant. Pope Francis, the 266th Vicar of Christ, has left this earthly realm at the age of 88, April 21, 2025, a day etched in the hearts of millions. Born Jorge Mario Bergoglio in Buenos Aires, Argentina, he rose from humble beginnings to become a beacon of hope. Elected in 2013, he redefined the papacy with humility, mercy, and a relentless call for justice. He was the Pope of the people, a shepherd who walked among his flock. From reforming the church to bridging divides, his legacy was one of radical love. He challenged the powerful, comforted the broken, and reminded us, who am I to judge? As news of his passing spread, an outpouring of grief united believers and non-believers alike. For in a fractured world, he was a unifying light. And so we say goodbye, but not farewell. For the seeds you planted, Pope Francis, will bloom for generations. You showed us that faith is not a fortress, but an open door, that the church must be a field hospital for the wounded. You walked with the marginalized, dined with sinners, and bore the weight of the cross with a smile. Now may the angels lead you into paradise. May the poor you cherished welcome you home, and may the God of mercy, the God you preached with every breath, embrace you saying, well done, my good and faithful servant. Rest in peace, Pope Francis. The world is brighter because you were here. Pope Francis, 1936 to 2025.
History Desk TV. Explore the past, analyzing the future.
April 21. On this day in 1926, the Queen of the United Kingdom, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, was born in London. On this day in 1926, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, who is the Queen of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth of Nations, commonly known as Elizabeth II, was born in London, the United Kingdom. Elizabeth was the first child of the Duke and Duchess of York, later King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, and she was educated privately at home. Her father acceded to the throne on the abdication of his brother, King Edward VIII, in 1936, from which time she was the heir presumptive. She began to undertake public duties during the Second World War, serving in the Auxiliary Territorial Service. In 1947, she married Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, a former Prince of Greece and Denmark, with whom she has 4 children: Charles, Prince of Wales; Anne, Princess Royal; Andrew, Duke of York; and Edward, Earl of Wessex. Significant events have included her coronation in 1953 and the celebrations of her silver, golden, and diamond jubilees in 1977, 2002, and 2012, respectively. In 2017, she became the first British monarch to reach a sapphire jubilee. She is the longest-lived and longest-reigning British monarch, as well as the world's longest-reigning queen, regnant and female head of state, the oldest and longest-reigning current monarch, and the oldest and longest-serving current head of state. Elizabeth has occasionally faced Republican sentiments and press criticism of the royal family, in particular after the breakdown of her children's marriages, the Windsor Castle fire in 1992, and the death in 1997 of her former daughter-in-law Diana, Princess of Wales. However, support for the monarchy remains high, as does her personal popularity.
History Desk TV. Explore the past, analyzing the future.
April 21. On this day in 1996, as a fallout of the Rastafari movement, Haile Selassie of Ethiopia visited Jamaica, where they believe he is God, in an event that is now celebrated as the GROUNATION Day annually. An event now celebrated as GROUNATION Day. Haile Selassie visited Jamaica on Thursday, April 21st, 1966. Some 100,000 Rastafari from all over Jamaica descended on Palisadoes Airport in Kingston, having heard that the man whom they considered to be God was coming to visit them. They waited at the airport playing drums and smoking large quantities of marijuana. Today, the Rastafari celebrate that Haile Selassie visited Jamaica on April 21st, defying expectations of the Jamaican authorities. Selassie never rebuked the Rastafari for their belief in him as the Messiah. Instead, he presented the movement's faithful elders with gold medallions bearing the Ethiopian seal, the only recipients of such an honor on this visit. Meanwhile, he presented some of the Jamaican politicians, including Sangster, with miniature coffin-shaped cigarette boxes.
History Desk TV. Explore the past, analyzing the future.